Alabama beat the Georgia Bulldogs 24-21. I understand that there's different levels of football in college. Like the talent level for the SEC is drastically different from the talent level of the Big 12. The talent level of the Big 10, which we'll talk about in a second, is much different than the talent level of the CUSA. And Kirby Smart is a very good coach. My thing is this. When you're playing somebody that gets the better of you almost every time. When you have layups, you have to convert on those layups. The game was tight throughout the entirety. You get all the way down to, I think, the 5-yard line, down 21-24. Not only do you not kick the ball to tie the game, but you give it to the running back who, if I'm not mistaken, lost. It was like 4th and 1. You don't give it to the running back. You don't give it to Chauncey Brown or Bowens. I'm sorry. You don't give it to Chauncey Bowens, who had 119 yards on the game. You give it to a dude that shouldn't have been in the game, and you lose yards. So I think you lost you lost yards. You didn't get the first down. So instead of tying the game, you're still down and you lose. After Georgia scored in third quarter, there was not another point scored in the game from either team. Alabama didn't score in the second half. When you have layups, you gotta, Kirby Smart is like, when you look at his record, 100 and something and 40 against every other team. When you go up against Alabama, I think he's 1 and something. Alabama, Georgia, you gotta take the layups, man. Gotta take the layups. Speaking of layups, let's have this uncomfortable conversation again. The whiteout. Penn State's Crescendo. They hosted Oregon. And they lost to Oregon 30-24. Now, the conversation obviously is surrounding James Franklin. How James Franklin is now 4-21 against ranked opponents in the top 10. So if you have a 10 or lower in front of your name, you're more than likely beating James Franklin in the Penn State Nittany Lions. To bring for the contents, as the head coach of the Penn State Nittany Lions, James Franklin has never beat Oregon, Ohio State, or Michigan. A lot of times, while playing Oregon, Ohio State, and Michigan, the Penn State Nittany Lions were ranked higher than them. I was having a conversation with somebody after the game because people know that I'm an Oregon fan, and I was elated, but I was having a conversation, and obviously the conversation swirling around this game was James Franklin, if he should be fired. the same conversation that they were having about Ryan Day when he seemingly could not beat Michigan. And I don't know when's the last time Ryan Day and the Ohio State Buckeyes beat Michigan. However, I do know that they won the national championship last year. And we were talking, and I said, "Yo, is this going to cost James Franklin his job?" And they were saying, "Well, James Franklin is an exceptional coach, and James Franklin, if you look at his record outside of the top 10." He has one of the best records as a football head coach. And the question is kind of like the conversation you have as to, if not me, then who? If not James Franklin, then who? Who is out there that can turn the Penn State into a juggernaut more so than they are now? Because Penn State is a juggernaut. They just can't beat top-ranked teams. Drew Allard on cue threw an interception against Oregon. Drew Allard on cue threw an interception last year to seal the game against Notre Dame. Drew Allard on cue threw an interception in the Big Ten championship against Oregon last year. I'm not blaming Drew Allard. What I'm saying is, yeah, you would hope and want your record to be better than 4-21 against ranked teams inside the top 10. But it's like, is there anybody better than James Franklin for this team right now that's available? I don't know. But it is crazy that he's never beaten the top teams in the Big Ten. And you want to consider yourself a top-tier team, yet you can't beat – and Michigan, you can't beat those three. Now, they're probably going to beat Michigan. I don't know if they play Michigan this year. In fact, do they play Michigan this year? Let me see. Oh, God. So – they don't play Michigan this year. However, they have a shot. They have. I don't know what Indiana's going to look like when they get to Indiana, because I think Indiana plays Oregon next, and Oregon is the number 2 team. But they're going to have a shot maybe, because you got Ohio State and Indiana, and you're going to Ohio State. So we'll see. But it's not looking promising. I'll just say that. So I don't think they should fire. I don't think they should fire James Franklin, but it's just like, I am acknowledging the fact of, okay, well, this is yet another time where you can't win the big game.
Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.